Yo, 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 what it do? Man, we just getting active. It's a Wednesday, great Wednesday morning, or Thursday morning rather. I get my days conflicted. Crypto, have us in a frenzy sometimes. Good, good Wednesday or Thursday morning, guys. Good Thursday morning. Good Thursday morning. And today, man, a lot of things going on in the crypto space right now. We are ramping up to see, some major things that's really playing out because a lot of big, institutions are buying crypto. A lot of big countries are literally getting into crypto at this moment in the market. The only people who really are still sleep on crypto, I would say, is retail. Retail is not getting into crypto as fast as institutions, I would say, because the narrative is changing, man. The narrative is changing. Once before, people wouldn't touch Bitcoin with a 10-foot pole. Now all these institutions are actively buying Bitcoin now. So a lot of things transpiring, and today, man, we're gonna talk about it. Pakistan announces the Bitcoin strategic reserve. We're gonna get into the depths of that. We're gonna talk about a lot of other things that's occurring in the crypto space as well. But before we do, if you haven't already, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, turn on those notifications. We're gonna let some more people get into the room, and we're gonna get the vibes going because we gotta understand, man, it's a pivotal moment in the market right now. If we looking at, market cap for the entire crypto space. So right now, the market cap for the entire crypto space is at $3.39 trillion, man. $3.39 trillion. And that's down less than 1%. So right now, market cap at 3.39 trillion. Volume is at 130 billion. And like I said, with Pakistan buying, what's up, farmers? Farmers, what it do? With Pakistan's starting this, Bitcoin reserve, I think that's going to, change a lot of narrative as far as how people are viewing, cryptos as an asset class. And we already know it's established now. Crypto is a legit asset class. You can't deny what crypto is doing right now. You can't deny it. And a lot of people have been trying to, but if you can't beat them, join them. And we see all of these institutions buying crypto at a crazy pace right now. And it's funny because once upon a time, crypto was looked at as disgusting. Nobody wanted to deal with it. Everybody talked bad about it. But the role has changed. The roles has flipped. Now these companies, even if they are still talking bad about it, they're secretly buying it. And I think what retail is doing right now, retail is not realizing what's going on. And I think a lot of people are going to get shook out of the markets just because they don't realize what's transpiring. Like right now, would probably, in my personal opinion, would be really some of the best times to buy alts, man. Some of the best times to buy alts, in my personal opinion, because we know Bitcoin just reached an all-time high. Michael, what's up? Make sure y'all hitting that like button. Come in, hit the like button. Ant, what it do? Ant in the building. Shout out to Ant, man. I appreciate all the support and everything. But like I said, Bitcoin just reached a new all-time high. For everybody who's saying that it's not going to be an altcoin season, they are absolutely crazy in my personal opinion. And I know you're like, Tro, think that crazy, man? Why you feel like that? Well, for one reason, if anything, it's going to be different for sure. This season, this altcoin season is going to be different for sure. For sure. But the reason it's going to be different is for the simple fact that we have never had anything like this in the crypto space. And I keep saying this, but we never had the proper legislation. We know the stablecoin bill is coming very fast. We know Trump media announced the altcoin or the Bitcoin reserve with crypto.com. That's coming down the pipeline. We know a lot of other people are trying to get Bitcoin reserves passed for their states and things like that. That's coming down the pipeline. We never had that before. Carlo, what's up, Carlo? What it do, man? We live and direct just like this, trying to push out this message because right now we are about to see some crazy things. So Pakistan announces the Bitcoin reserve. The move represents a significant shift from the Pakistani government's earlier position that cryptocurrencies would never, they said, would never be legalized. This is what the Pakistani government has said. So, Balil, head of Pakistan's crypto council, announced on May 28th that the country is moving to establish a strategic Bitcoin reserve. Speaking at the Bitcoin 2025 conference in Las Vegas, Nevada, Sabib said that the government of Pakistan followed the United States lead in establishing a Bitcoin reserve and is embracing pro-crypto regulatory policies. The government official told the audience, "Today is a very historic day. Today, I announced the Pakistani government is setting up its own government-led Bitcoin strategic reserve. And we want to thank the United States again because we were inspired by them." The announcement represents a significant departure from the governments of Pakistan's previous stance on cryptocurrencies. So let's just take a look at this, man. So they said previously that they would never legalize cryptocurrencies. Now they're talking about a Bitcoin reserve. You know what I'm saying? We putting two and two together. Everybody is recognizing what's going on, except for the common the common person. You know what I'm saying? The everyday person who goes to work, does everything, you know what I'm saying, moves, whatever the case may be. The only person who is not recognizing what's going on is the retail investor. So Pakistan's shift reflects the broader trend of nation states adopting pro-crypto policies following a regulatory shift in Washington, D.C. under Donald Trump. Pakistan's shift stands towards crypto. The Pakistan government first explored the idea of the National Crypto Council in February 2025 to oversee the development of a comprehensive regulatory framework for cryptocurrencies and to attract foreign investment. And say, "I sacrificed my life for Pakistan." Hey, yeah. But like I said, a lot of things going on in that arena, man. A lot of things are transpiring and we got to realize what's going on. And like I said, I do think this is going to absolutely help this upcoming altcoin season because I think this means that we're going to go, you know, a longer this bull cycle is going to be longer than we have previously seen other bull cycles because we already kind of took off late. I would say I think the takeoff was absolutely late, but I think that gives us more runway going into 2025. What do you guys think? How y'all feel? You know what I'm saying? What you think about, you know, everything that's transpiring? I give my life for Pakistan. Shout out to everybody who sacrificed and gave their life for Pakistan, man. Shout out to the military. Shout out to, you know, everybody who's out there making a difference. But how y'all feel about it though? How do y'all feel about, you know, everything that's transpiring in the crypto space? Because like I said, this is kind of a new feeling. Like if you was back in 2021, you see how fast in those 4 years the narrative has changed for crypto. The narrative has changed just like, you know, in a snap of a finger. We look up, everybody's buying it. So I kind of think, you know, I look at it in a sense that we're moving forward. My light just dimmed. They trying to dim my light, man. My light just unplugged. But yeah, I'm looking at it in a sense that, you know, we are moving forward with a great time to be alive, man. This is probably one of the best times to be alive in the crypto space. And I'm seeing so many opportunities just with altcoins, with all of these altcoins that are still super undervalued. If Because if we look at it, a lot of these big coins, a lot of these coins that we've been looking at, haven't even reached their previous 2024 highs. You know what I'm saying? A lot of these coins have yet to reach their 2024 previous year highs. So that gives me so much I'm so optimistic. I'm so optimistic about, you know what I'm saying, where the future is going for, you know what I'm saying, the crypto space, for Bitcoin, for altcoins, and so many things going on. So Adam Back, if you don't know Adam Back, he's a big crypto guy, and he pretty much said selling Bitcoin is like playing in a bad house rate casino. So due to Bitcoin's volatility, the odds are against those who try to time the market. The Blockstream CEO learned in the earlier years of Bitcoin. And that's why I always say people always try to time the market instead of having time in the market. I think, that's probably the one worst things to do in the crypto space is trying to time your entry point. If you, especially right now, because these things can take off out of nowhere. We know that these things literally take off and do 10x's overnight within a month. So trying to time it is probably the worst decision you can do. If you see a good asset, if you know about a good asset, dollar cost average over long periods of time. And I know this is just reiteration, but trying to really time it is the worst thing you can do in the crypto space. I know a lot of people, including myself, who lost money trying to time the market instead of just dollar cost averaging, especially when prices are down like crazy. That's when you go in heavy. You really don't want to go in heavy as the price starts to move, because you didn't miss the biggest move. You want to get in on the ground floor of it. You want to get in where, everybody was fearful, everybody was doubting it, everybody was, saying that it was going to zero. That is when you want to have the most conviction, in my personal opinion. Now, it is hard to really spot that. It is hard to really, have that conviction, especially when prices are down so long. But sometimes it just comes a point where you got to believe in that project. Whatever project you're investing in, you got to believe in it. That's what it boils down to. Do you believe in a project that you're investing in, and are you over leveraged? That is one of the main things I see a lot of people do. They say, Tro, I've been losing money. I'm thinking about selling. I'm like, what has changed since you bought that project? The price. If the price is the only thing that has changed, then you should be dollar cost averaging more. And if you feel like you should be selling, then you might be over leveraged. And you never want to invest, money that you can't lose in a crypto space. That's the main, one of the first and foremost things when it comes to crypto. You never want to invest money that you can't lose. You never want to invest money that you can't lose, guys. That's the number one rule, or one of the top rules in the crypto space. Never over leverage yourself. Be able to sleep at night, because these are exponential growths. Like, these are exponential gains that you can possibly see. So you don't have to risk a lot of money in order to make a lot of money in the crypto space. But also, you don't want to go all in on a project thinking that this project is going to do this and it does something different. But I would say at this time in the market, I don't want to say you don't got to worry about, projects going to zero. Projects will go to zero at this time in the market, but the main projects, I would say, if you are in some of the projects with higher market caps, usually you don't got to worry about those projects. I feel like in 2021, We weeded out a lot of the bad stuff in the crypto space. Not to say that hacks don't happen, because we still get crazy hacks in the crypto space. But I think that, 2021, 2022 year really shook up crypto for the better, weeding out, a lot of these projects that we at first we thought was going to be a good idea, but end up eventually not being a good idea, and it kind of wrecked the crypto space altogether. But eventually it made crypto come out better, because now we know not to deal with projects that's like that. So I do think a lot of the bad stuff was weeded out. Not to say that things won't go to zero, because things gonna continue to go to zero until the end of times. But at the same time, we have to understand that right now is that moment we've been waiting for in the market. Right now is that legit moment we've been talking about for so long. We almost at that finish line, guys. We almost at the line. But we just gotta wait it out a little bit more. We got a brief feel of that euphoric feeling after the election, but then all these things came out, the tariffs came out, so many moving parts, so many macro moving parts, that it kind of slowed down the progression of what we thought was going to be the start of the biggest bull market of our lives. But I will say this: I do think the narrative, as far as the money printer, is changing. At first, we was hearing narratives that we're not printing any more money, we're not doing this. That's what the last administration did. They flooded the market, inflation, all that, all those talking points or whatever. But at the end of the day, in order to stimulate the economy, you have to print money. In order to stimulate the economy, money has to be printed, or that is what the higher ups think, the people who are elected. So the verbiage is changing. It sounds like they're looking to start printing more money to stimulate the economy, to get more money and assets, to add more liquidity into the ecosystem. And that is when we're going to see prices absolutely take out, man. Once the economy is stimulated, once we get liquidity flooded into the space, or into just the economy in general, that's when we're going to see prices go to the moon. And that's going to happen. And usually, if you just look at some of these charts, man, November are some of the best performing months. October, November, the latter of the year. So I'm thinking around, again, this is just the estimate. This is just what it's looking like from my vision. I'm thinking around, November, October, November, December. Things might start heating up around September. I think that's around Q4. I think that's the time that we really start to see things ramp up to be in our favor. Also, I think we might see a little bit of something in the summer. It's really kind of hard to judge just based off of all these macro stuff that's going on. But I'm telling you, once that money printer gets, gets to churning, once we start printing them dollars and putting them in circulation, that's when we gonna see these altcoins take off. The altcoin season will happen. I'm telling you, like, be patient. A lot of people in the comments, even talking about the projects that I make videos on. People just saying this and that, saying it hasn't done anything. It didn't do this. It didn't do a 10x, or whatever the case may be. I'm telling you guys, that move is going to happen so fast. You're going to be like, where was I at? Where was I at when it took off? Because it's going to happen so fast. If you're new in here, make sure y'all hit that like button. Keep running the likes up. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button. Subscribe to the channel, Crypto Tro. You know what I'm saying? We just giving this free game out right now. If you just coming in, if you don't know already, Pakistan is building or deciding on doing a Bitcoin reserve. And that's super, super big for what's coming in the crypto space. And we know that Bitcoin is the granddaddy of them all, is going to be the first to take off. I don't think Bitcoin is finished running though. That's why I'm giving so much more time for alt season, because We seeing all these laws that's been put in place for Bitcoin. We seeing all these different things that's bullish for Bitcoin. More public companies are buying Bitcoin. So I don't think the run for Bitcoin is over just yet. And before it ends, we're going to see altcoins slowly start to take off. It's going to take a little second, but they're going to slowly, they already slowly been building from their lows. If you're in a project and it's still at its lows, then it might be time to reflect and kind of just take a look at a mirror. But if it's kind of up from the bottom of the bottom that it was, a couple months ago, or a couple weeks ago rather, then you might be looking at a pretty decent project. And I wouldn't count any project out, honestly, until we are in a full-on bull market and that project isn't moving. You're going to see that, you're going to get that euphoric feeling, man. You're going to have that feeling where you see everything is going up. And a lot of people like to point to outliers. Can we crow at $1 by the end of the summer? I don't think crow is going to be at $1 by the end of the summer. I ain't gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie, Blast, I don't think crow will be $1 by the end of the summer, but I do think it hits $1 by the end of the cycle. I do think crow has a potential to hit $1 by the end of the cycle. But the summer is just, a couple months away. So, I mean, anything can happen. Don't get me wrong. A 10x can literally happen in a couple months. Like, literally. It's hard to really judge it. I do think something big will have to happen for crow to, hit $1 that fast. But, anything can happen in the crypto space. So, I'm not counting it out. But I do want to see, Bitcoin go up a little bit more. You know what I'm saying? A little bit more as far as going past 110. I do think Bitcoin is going to go to at least 120 to 150, and then that's when we see altcoins take off. And if we look at it, man, we look at like just sentiment in everywhere. You know what I'm saying? If we look, one thing I like to always look at is Google Trends. Google Trends, Google is the biggest database, search database that's out there. You know what I'm saying? And majority of the people use Google. So with Google Trends, you can kind of look up and see, what's trending, what search terms are trending and things like that. And when you type in crypto, the search trend for crypto is still down. So people are not searching about crypto. People are not trying to learn about crypto. And I will say, one thing about it, the people aren't trying to learn about crypto at this moment in time, but we know when altcoin season comes, that's when they're going to try to learn about it. That's when the everyday person, your barber, your mom, family members, friends, that's when they talking about crypto. And that's a sell signal. That's when you should probably be thinking about selling, when everybody is talking about it. And nobody is talking about it right now. And that's a great thing, because that gives us even more buying opportunities to pack our bags. And I think a lot of people look at it from a different point. Like, people look at it in a bad way instead of a good way. You want to be able to pack your bags before the takeoff so you can have even more appreciation once it takes off. Blad, thank you, bro. I appreciate your work. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you for tuning in, subscribing to the channel. If y'all ain't subscribed already, make sure y'all subscribe. Turn on those notifications. Like this live stream. That really helps the channel so we can, get this information out here, man. Because I want to be able to, for one thing, this is for me to go back and look on and say, like, this how far I came. This what I was doing. These the projects I invested in, things like that. But also to really just inspire others or show others that it's a way to, get out of the situations that we currently in. And that's by buying one of the best performing assets this decade that we currently in, is Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. And who does the Crow coins come from? We get the cash back on a Visa debit card. The Crow, I think they have an actual reserve for that, if I'm not mistaken. I think Crypto.com has a reserve that's specifically for the cash back on the Visa. I want to say that. Don't quote me on that. I'm pretty sure it's Googleable, or you can Google it. I said Googleable. But I think they got a reserve specifically for the cashback rewards, I want to say. Do you think Chris will ever link the VVS Finance with institutional investors? Um, no, I don't think they'll ever come out and say that, VVS Finance is powered by institutional investors. Um, finance with do you ever think Chris will ever link VVS Finance like with institutions? All right, I think that's what you're saying. But I would say, in my personal opinion, I think VVS Finance is a Crypto.com back type of platform. I don't think they kind of said it. They always put it up front. But if you look at it, VVS Finance still has a lot of liquidity. So I don't think Crypto.com wants, VVS Finance to fail. Because it's backed by them, I will say. Because if you look at any other decentralized exchange that's really not, I won't say that's not backed by their blockchain, usually once prices go down, the total value lock kind of correlates with the market cap of the price. But I feel like the VVS Finance market cap and what they have in total value lock does not really correlate. So that kind of shows me that it wasn't really retail that was providing liquidity for VVS Finance. It's more so Crypto.com backed VVS Finance and put a lot of that liquidity in there, because I want to say it's still over $100 million locked on VVS Finance at this moment in time, if I'm not mistaken. So I don't think, maybe we do get some, linking to some institutional investors. I think previously I made a video about this. I think Crypto.com was doing something with some institutions that was, trying to, bring institutions onto the Chronos blockchain, but I'm not too sure. I do think overall VVS will, appreciate, though. I think if you're holding VVS, I think it will show some type of appreciation. Me personally, I don't really like to hold DEX coins, because once you farm them, people naturally sell them off. But that's not to say that you don't see appreciation in DEX coins, because we've seen it with Uniswap, we've seen it with other DEX coins across the blockchain. So, if that's one of the projects that you like, then I think VVS, is going to show some appreciation. And say you need to be on Coin Baron, Crypto Report. Yeah, I'm just out here working, man. We can put something together. We can work. I'm always open to, getting this information out here, collabing with everybody, because that's what it's about, man. I think at the end of the day, it's about, us, although crypto is PvP sometimes, I think it does help when you have a community of people, of like-minded people. And although some people are malicious with their intentions, I always think positive going into any situation. So I think, being able to collaborate with people, being able to talk about cryptocurrencies, being in this space, I think that, we should all be open to, some line of communication and trying to better the space, and because we really innovators in this space, because crypto is a new asset class. It's still only been, 15 years, 16 years, whatever the case may be. So it's still in its infancy, and we still got such a long runway to go, man. If you just coming in, make sure y'all hit that like button, Shout out to everybody who's still tuned in. It's just a beautiful time in the market, beautiful Thursday morning, man. And we have this opportunity that's really, about to take off for us. And if we just look at the entire crypto market cap, we at $3.39 trillion. The all-time high just, in December was $3.71 trillion. So we haven't even hit the previous all-time high yet, and Bitcoin is hitting a new all-time high. Let that sink in. We had $3.39 trillion market cap for the entire crypto space right now. The all-time high for the market cap for the entire crypto space was $3.71 trillion. Bitcoin just hit a new all-time high. Bitcoin just went to $110,000. And that's not even with the market cap being at the previous all-time high. Something is building up, man. Something is building up. And I'm going to continue to say this. I will continue to say this, because a lot of people are not believing in what's going on. We see the fear and greed index is 65 out of 100. So people are, they greedy on the edge of greed, but at the same time, the altcoin season index is only 24 out of 100. So altcoins really haven't done what they supposed to do. Is still Bitcoin season, and that's why when people say that, that really confuses me. And I think a lot of people put out fear because we already know fear sells. Everybody wants the bad news. You know what I'm saying? Fear absolutely sells. So people are going to put out things that frightens people or makes people want to stay away because those headlines are what get people clicks. But if you just smart, bro, if you smart and really paying attention, then you kind of see what's going on. Like you see the playbook has been set multiple times, and they're really shaking retail investors out of it, putting so much fear into these retail investors, and the institutions are coming in, and not only are they buying Bitcoin, but they buying altcoins as well, and they putting their fear into it, and that's how you get a shakeout, and that's how they control the markets, man. And crypto, originally crypto was supposed to be for the everyday person, or the people who wanted to beat inflation, people who wanted to get out of the system. But eventually, naturally, once the system recognizes something is getting too big, they always want to try to slow it down. Now, Bitcoin, I believe, has gone too fast to slow it down. But what the system is doing right now, what the big players are doing right now, they're trying to capture these altcoins, man. I'm telling you, they're trying to capture these big altcoins. That's why they're doing it. They want to be able to control the system, and whoever has majority, that's who's going to control it. Although crypto is decentralized, in anything, in any situation, whoever owns majority is who wins, man. So I think that's what the institutions are trying to do. But the beautiful thing about it, altcoins, majority of them are still distressed. So we get an opportunity to front run what institutions are doing at this moment in time. We get that opportunity to front run the institutions. We never had the opportunity in any type of investment asset class other than cryptocurrency. So I know I'm just really telling y'all what y'all already know. But like I said, I like to reiterate things. I like to kind of make it definite because we will have an altcoin season. We will see altcoins rise. Yes, some altcoins will fail, but that's the nature of business. That's the nature of doing anything in business. Some things won't succeed, and that's okay. But the opportunity that we have in front of us is an exponential opportunity as far as appreciation goes. And depending on what altcoins you see, you can see, from 1x to 100x. And I think a lot of people in the crypto space, we have gotten spoiled to the point where we are all looking for that 100x. But it's okay to do 100% gains. It's okay to do 200% gains. That's okay. We got to understand, man, if we compare it to any other asset class, crypto gives us the most opportunity. But if we look at the asset classes and what people expect to gain annually from those asset classes, if you talk to somebody who has worked in stocks all their life, they're looking at a 20% gain a year is great for them. You know what I'm saying? 20% a year is great for them. With Bitcoin, you earning at least 50% a year, man. So we got to understand, man, it's always good to look from it in a bigger viewpoint, because even if you just buying Bitcoin, that's a safe bet, because year over year Bitcoin has annual returns of just throughout its inception of 59%. So you're already beating the S&P, and that's what people are aiming to beat, the S&P 500. Hey, brother Jerry, the turtle family here. Who is brother Jerry? Bro, Jerry, the best turtle, the best coin now. I ain't never heard of Jerry the turtle. Hey, brother Jerry, the turtle family here. Jerry the turtle. What blockchain is that on? I ain't never heard of Jerry the turtle. I'm not gonna lie. It's so many coins popping out each and every day. You know what I'm saying? It's so many. Also, scammers. Be aware of the scammers, and sometimes some things be scammers. Jerry the Turtle reached 20 mil. It's on ETH. I gotta check that out. I'm gonna check it out. Because there's so many projects that pop up out of nowhere. I don't now y'all don't come in here spamming now. That's what we not gonna do. We've been having a great conversation. I know everybody want to shield their projects. Um, Let me see, but don't come in here with all the scamming now, y'all. Don't come in here with this. Okay, Jerry the Turtle. I see it. Okay, I see it's been out for. Well, we got issues though, bro. We got Go Plus security issues. Okay, at least ain't no honeypot though. At least ain't no honeypot. No scam, brother. I see y'all though. Y'all just took off though. I see y'all was in the depths with it since December last year. So hey, congratulations, bro. I'm glad the token took off for you for real, for real. How many holders? 4,000 holders. I like what it's looking like. Jerry the Turtle. Okay, I see it. It's JYAAI. Be listening for Jerry tomorrow. No scam. Hey, y'all might just put me on a little on something, man. But let's see, cause yeah, I see it. It's just now breaking out this past couple days. Okay, y'all caught one. Okay, I see what y'all got going. Hey, shout out to the chat, man. Jerry the Turtle. I'm not shilling that at all. Do your own research. I'm just listening to what the chat saying. They saying Jerry the Turtle. They came in here flooded. So we're gonna do a little shout out. Jerry the Turtle. It just went up though. It just went up like crazy. From $5 million market cap. Really, it was at a $1 million market cap back in May. Dang, okay. 1.7. It really almost did a 10x. Okay, yeah, it did do a 10x. Okay, Jerry the Turtle. Shout out Jerry the Turtle. XR and Bitmart also. Y'all getting, so these listenings happening ASAP. I might have to check it out before the listening. Y'all might be on to something right here. I never heard of this one. 400,000 in liquidity, $14.7 million market cap. So y'all might be. The only issue, it got Go Plus security issue, trading cool down. But that's it. The ownership renounce. Okay. Y'all might just put me on, so I'm gonna put that on my radar, keep that on my radar. And that's the biggest thing, man. You always got outliers. 2 days ago, one of the holders connects wallet to airdrop scam link and got drained for big amount. Dang, that's tough. You always gotta be safe in these crypto projects, man, because connecting your wallet to them trying to get airdrops that's one of the reasons why I kind of, I always have 2 separate wallets. You know what I'm saying? Okay, that's the reason we got the dip and holders panic sold. And it went right back up, because it went right back up. Good morning, everybody. If you just now coming in, make sure y'all hit that like button. If you ain't subscribed to the channel already, subscribe to the channel. Show the kids some love, man. We just getting, I won't say just getting started. We've been on here for quite a while, but I'm going to keep doing these live sessions. Make sure y'all like this video. Like it already. Subscribe to the channel. Turn on them notifications, because I will continue to bring these live videos, man, because now is the time. Now is the time. We want to get into the crypto space. We want to be active. We want to be looking at the charts, because some of these altcoins are about to explode, man. Shout out to the chat. They just put out, some information about it. About a new project, Jerry the Turtle. You can check that out. I am not shilling this. I don't own any Jerry the Turtle, but it is looking pretty decent right now. I'm not gonna lie, $14 million market cap. It just took out recently. Probably can go to 100. I don't, you know what I'm saying? I'm not shilling it, guys. Don't say Tro told me. No. But like I said, if you haven't already, make sure y'all subscribe to the channel, man. Subscribe to the channel. That helps me continue to grow. That helps me continue to, get the information out, meet new people. I'm always open to conversation. If you haven't joined the Discord, click on one of my videos. Join the Discord link. Join the Trojan Horse Discord. We like to share ideas. Right now, it's just me talking to myself in there, but I'm making it to, share ideas with everybody. This is just going to be a go-to place to, shield your tokens, or, don't go too crazy, but, you can put tokens in there what you think is a good trade. Don't try to scam anybody. We ain't with the scamming or nothing like that, but, shield the tokens that you think are good and things like that. And we're going to keep the ball rolling, man. So make sure y'all did all of those things. I will bring another live stream video coming soon. Shout out to the chat, man. Y'all kept me active. I've been talking for a while. Check that out. There are many influencers talking about it because it's making history. For sure, I'm gonna check it out. Make sure I ain't late on that. Any news on call? They seem to be really quiet lately. It's really not too much any big news on call at this moment. I just made a recent video about Crow with Knife. But I mean, they you know what I'm saying, they still been tweeting out, putting out different memes and things like that, doing different partnerships, getting listed on different exchanges as far as smaller little exchanges. But they really haven't been as active as they usually be. But we got to understand too, it's kind of a quiet moment in the space for altcoins, I would say. It's not really a loud moment. And that's not to say altcoins aren't moving, because there's a lot of altcoins that are absolutely doing numbers. But I will say that's not a general thing for the entire market. A lot of people like to point out outliers and say, well, Tro, this coin is moving, why this coin not moving? Well, you just pointed out an outlier to the entire market. Yes, it's always going to be outliers in markets, but when markets move together, majority of the projects in that said market goes up. And we've seen it multiple times with crypto. So I wouldn't just necessarily call out. But they really, like I said, it's just really one of those quiet moments in the crypto space, I would say. It's kind of, it's news getting out there, but not really. I don't think really call takes off until we really get into the altcoin season, just because by it being, it's not only on Cronos, but we know that the inception is from Cronos. And last go around, Cronos was one of the last blockchains to really take off. So we got to kind of put that in consideration as well, with Cronos being one of the lower volume blockchains, and with Crow with Knife being on Cronos, or being the home or the initial blockchain that it was on, it might take off, behind the market. Because really, if we look at it, back in 2021, Cronos projects really didn't take off until 2022. We saw Crow take off, and then after Crow took off, that's when we saw the Cronos project start to take off, going into like Q1 of 2022. So I would say really it's just a patient game right now. It's just being patient, seeing what opportunities that we have, and it's just really been going sideways right now. But I will say, even with it going sideways, the holder count for call continues to increase. So that's one of the good things. When the holder count increases and the price is going sideways, I like to think of it as people are accumulating at prices that they wish they would before. So that's my sentiment on that, on Crow with Knife. They are listening, coming up soon for Jerry. Penn just announced the day listening. So it's a lot of projects that's getting listed, man. So, you know what I'm saying? We gonna come back around. Like I said, I got some things to take care of, but I will be back with another live coming soon. Shout out to everybody who's still in here. Make sure before we leave, hit that like button. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, man, subscribe to the channel. We just getting started in the crypto space. Crypto Tro. My link to the Discord is in the description. All that good stuff. I'm out of here.